Hi, this is Delaina from Northern Japan, and welcome to this week's lesson for Introduction to Music Production through Coursera and Berklee College of Music. Today I'd like to talk about noise reduction when recording, specifically acoustic and electrical noise. There's a number of things we can do to reduce acoustic noise, and we have a checklist. First, we'll want to take a listen to the room's silence or room tone. What do we hear? I'm acutely aware of the sound of the computer's fan, which I just replaced last week with my graphic card. It's much noisier than before. 2. We can move away from noise sources such as fans or windows. And 3. We can have a dedicated recording space. This is my home studio. However, due to space limitations, I would like to move my computer to a different place, but I can't right now. So when I record with a microphone, I'm going to make sure that I've got it pointed the other direction and picking up as little noise as possible. And 4, we'll want to turn off any other noise sources such as air conditioning, heaters, fans, dimmers. So we don't have an air conditioner in this room. Most homes in northern Japan don't have it at all. In the summer it gets hot. So we use an electric fan and open the windows between takes. And it's a pain, but it's very important to make sure you close the windows and shut off the fans and reduce all possible noises to get the most pure recording possible. On a side note, large bass amps often have their own fan as well, so you'll want to be aware of that. Sometimes we find, even after our best efforts to reduce all kinds of acoustic noise, that unexpected noises still show up in the recordings. This is often caused by electrical noise, but there are a number of things we can do to reduce these as well. The first is to use as few pieces of gear as possible to reduce self-noise or the noise that these pieces produce on their own. If you're an electric guitarist, you might have a number of pedals, and AC adapters make their own kind of noise, so as much as possible, switch to battery power when recording because the DC power is much less noisy than AC. Using shorter cables and balanced cables are two good ways to also reduce electrical noise. However, did you know that when a cable crosses with an electrical wire, they will often produce noise? You want to make sure that you keep your electrical cords and your cables as far apart as possible. However, it's not always possible, so if they must cross, have them cross in a cross-section at one point rather than running alongside each other, causing more potential for noise. Next, we'll want to turn off any unnecessary appliances and light dimmers. About lights, I'm sure we all know the distinct hum of a fluorescent light bulb, and while that can produce an acoustic noise of its own, it also produces electrical noise. Filament bulbs are much less noisy, so you might want to bring a lamp into your studio if you only have fluorescents. There's one more checklist we can use to help us avoid unnecessary gain. The first is to boost the electricity level as little as possible. Secondly, we can move closer to the source and use a moderate gain. Thirdly, we can use a directional mic to help isolate the sound that we want. When recording vocals or other instruments that use a microphone, it seems a given that we will use headphones when we record to avoid any feedback loops from the monitors. However, a lot of guitarists, thinking that the pickup is so small, will direct record and use the monitors aloud, but this can also cause feedback. Some guitarists use this intentionally on the stage, such as Steve Vai or Mr. Big's Paul Gilbert, but if that's not what you're after, you might want to consider using headphones, or at least checking your position as you play so that you can avoid picking up the feedback. Also, single coil guitars tend to be much more sensitive to this than humbuckers or other types, and they'll even pick up the electrical feedback from fluorescent light bulbs more than a microphone will. So do take care. I hope this tutorial has been helpful to you, as it has to me. I look forward to seeing you next time. 頑張ってね!